Have you ever wondered what the deadliest weapons in war history were? Delve into the annals of time and you'll find that the roots of warfare are steeped in the ingenuity and brutality of ancient civilizations. Let's embark on a journey through the epics, beginning with the weapons that marked the start of human conflict. Our journey commences in the Bronze Age, a time characterized by the development and use of bronze, especially for tools and weapons. The bronze sword, a symbol of power and status, was a significant advancement in warfare. This weapon, with its double-edged blade, was not only used for slashing but also for thrusting, making it versatile on the battlefield. From bronze, we move on to iron, marking a significant leap in weapons technology. The Roman gladius, a short double-edged sword, was the primary weapon of the Roman foot soldier. Its design, tailored for close combat, allowed the wielder to stab and cut with lethal precision. Complementing the gladius was the palum, a javelin-like weapon designed to penetrate enemy shields and armor, disrupting formations and causing havoc in enemy lines. The evolution of weaponry wasn't confined to the Mediterranean though. In the chilly climes of England, the longbow was taking shape. This 6-foot yew bow was capable of launching arrows with such force that they could pierce armor. A well-trained English archer could loose up to a dozen arrows a minute, creating a deadly rain of projectiles on the battlefield. Simultaneously, on the vast steppes of Mongolia, the recurved bow was being perfected. Compact yet powerful, this bow could be used effectively on horseback, giving the Mongol hordes a significant advantage in their sweeping conquests. So you see, the ancient world was not only a cradle of civilization, but also a crucible of deadly innovation. The relentless pursuit of better, more efficient ways to wage war led to the creation of weapons of unparalleled brutality. These weapons not only shaped battles, but also the course of history itself. The ancient world was a place of relentless invention, producing weapons that would shape the course of history. But what happened when humanity discovered the explosive power of gunpowder? Well, it revolutionized warfare in ways that no one could have possibly predicted. Gunpowder, this fascinating mixture of sulfur, charcoal, and potassium nitrate, was initially used by the Chinese in the 9th century for medicinal and mystical purposes. But soon, they recognized its potential for destruction and its ability to propel objects at high speed. The invention of gunpowder led to the creation of the cannon, a weapon that transformed the battlefield. No longer were wars only about the clash of swords and the strength of the warriors. Now, they were also about the power of explosives and the range of the cannons. These massive weapons could hurl projectiles over great distances, smashing through castle walls and fortifications like they were made of paper. But the changes didn't stop with the cannon. The power of gunpowder was further harnessed with the invention of the musket. This long gun, fired from the shoulder, gave soldiers the ability to kill from a distance. No longer did they have to risk their lives in close combat. Now they could aim, fire, and reload from relative safety. The introduction of these weapons forced the development of new military strategies. Commanders had to reconsider their tactics, taking into account the destructive power and range of these new weapons. They had to think about how to protect their soldiers from enemy fire, how to position their cannons for maximum impact, and how to coordinate the actions of their musket-wielding infantry. Gunpowder also led to changes off the battlefield. Nations raced to develop more powerful weapons, to find more efficient ways of producing gunpowder, and to train their soldiers in the use of these new tools of war. This was the gunpowder revolution. It changed the face of warfare, making it more destructive, more deadly, and more distant. It shifted the balance of power, giving an advantage to those who could master its use. The age of gunpowder had begun, and warfare would never be the same. As the world moved into the industrial age, how did warfare adapt? Indeed, the advent of the industrial age drastically revolutionized the face of warfare. The steam engine, the telegraph, and the assembly line brought about not only economic prosperity, but also an era of increasingly lethal and efficient war machines. The scale and destructiveness of warfare escalated dramatically, as the fruits of industry were harnessed for conflict. Consider the Gatling gun, for instance. Named after its inventor Richard Gatling, this rapid-fire weapon was a game-changer on the battlefield. It was capable of firing hundreds of rounds per minute, a rate of fire unprecedented at the time. The Gatling gun was a symbol of the industrial age, a machine designed for the sole purpose of mass destruction. It was no longer about individual skill or bravery, but about who had the most devastating machinery. Then came the Maxim gun, an evolution of the Gatling gun. Invented by Sir Hiram Maxim, this fully automatic weapon was the first of its kind. It was lighter and even more deadly than its predecessor. The Maxim gun's impact was so profound that it played a significant role in the colonization of Africa, giving European powers an overwhelming advantage in firepower. But it wasn't just the land warfare that was transformed. The seas too saw the rise of fearsome industrial age war machines. The dreadnought battleship, with its all-big gun design and steam turbine propulsion, was a marvel of industrial technology. It was faster, more heavily armed, and more heavily armored than any ship before it. The dreadnoughts dominated the seas, making all previous battleships obsolete overnight. With these innovations, warfare was no longer about the courage of individual soldiers or the strategies of generals. It became a contest of industrial might, with the most technologically advanced nations wielding the most devastating weapons. The battlefield was no longer a place of honor, but a grim theater of mechanized death. The industrial age had turned warfare into a machine of death. In our modern era, what weapons have redefined the battlefield? Let's start with the atomic bomb, an invention that sent shockwaves around the world, quite literally, in the mid-20th century. Unveiled during the final stages of World War II, the atomic bomb's destructive power was beyond anything ever seen before. It was a weapon capable of leveling cities in an instant, resulting in a death toll in the tens of thousands. The shock and awe elicited by the devastation in Hiroshima and Nagasaki led to a global race to harness the power of the atom, forever changing the nature of warfare. But the atomic bomb is not the only game changer in our modern era. With the advent of the 21st century, warfare has taken to the skies. Unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones, have introduced a new dynamic to the battlefield. These remote-controlled machines can launch precision strikes from miles away, disrupting enemy operations while keeping our soldiers out of harm's way. However, the detachment of warfare from the battlefield raises ethical questions about the human cost of conflict. And then, there's a weapon that doesn't even need a physical form: cyber warfare. In today's digital age, battles are not only fought on land, sea, and air, but also in the vast expanse of cyberspace. Cyber attacks can cripple essential infrastructures, disrupt communication systems, and even manipulate public opinion, all without firing a single bullet. But like drones, the invisibility and ambiguity of cyber warfare present significant ethical and political challenges. The modern era's most potent weapons are not limited to those that can cause physical destruction. They also include those that can disrupt, deceive, and divide. These weapons have not only redefined the battlefield but have also reshaped the very concept of war. They force us to confront a critical question: what does it mean to wage war in the 21st century? The modern era has seen weapons of unimaginable power, capable of reshaping not just battles but entire nations. In reflecting on these weapons, what can we learn about humanity? War, while a grim facet of our existence, is as much a part of our history as the rise and fall of civilizations. The tools of war, from the humble slingshot to the devastating nuclear bomb, offer a stark reflection of our paradoxical nature. As we look back, we see a curious pattern unfolding. Each step forward in our technological progress, each leap in our understanding of the world, has been mirrored by an escalation in the destructive power of our weapons. It's a paradox, isn't it? Our capacity for innovation, our relentless pursuit of knowledge, these are the very things that have given us the power to unleash untold destruction. The same ingenuity that has cured diseases, explored space, and connected the world, has also given us the means to wage war on an unimaginable scale. But let's not forget, these weapons are not just symbols of our inventive prowess. They are also reminders of the human cost of war. Every bullet fired, every bomb dropped has left in its wake a trail of devastation, a legacy of lives lost and communities shattered. It's easy to get lost in the technical details, to marvel at the complexity of these machines of war. But we must never lose sight of the human element, the lives that are impacted, the societies that are forever changed. And so, as we reflect on these weapons of war, let's also reflect on the importance of peace. Let's remember that the true measure of our progress is not in the potency of our weapons, but in our ability to prevent conflict, to resolve our differences through dialogue and diplomacy. For it is in peace that we find the best of humanity, in our capacity for empathy, compassion, and mutual respect. The history of warfare is a mirror, reflecting both our creative brilliance and our capacity for destruction. Let it be a reminder of the price of conflict and the value of peace.